Welcome back to my channel. I'm Athena. This is my channel, Stitching Goddess Designs. This is a channel about cross stitch and Harry Potter. Nagini. Okay. It's Friday. It's not Wednesday. Don't adjust your TVs. Don't adjust your calendars. Do not adjust your dial. It is Friday. It's been a week, y'all. We'll have health updates, health journey. I don't know. What do we want to call this at the end? But yeah, it's been a rough week. So a couple days late. But that's okay. I'm still here. Maybe someday Pepsi will endorse me, but until then, Security Pepsi it is. And whoo, I needed it today. Okay. I've actually been stitching, you guys. Kind of excited that my stitchy bug is back a little bit, but also I have a ton of shirts to make. So it's like I need to get work done, but I want to stitch. I got a little bit caught up on shirts. I did get all the Harry Potter shirts mailed out. There's still some open orders that are a couple of days late. Thank you, everybody who has the patience and all the kind words and thoughts and everything. Like, finding my new normal is a thing. So, trying to balance health, work, life, all the things. But all that said, I got some stitching done and a new craft alert. I'm excited for that. So let's start with stitching, shall we? Oh, and of course, would you rathers. We got a really good would you rather last week, so I'm excited. The first thing, I think this was the first thing I worked on. I'm pretty sure I showed y'all cryptids last week. I'm pretty sure I did. Because I already have it put away. So I'm thinking I did. So what I worked on next was my Gryffindor crest. This was actually from Candyland. So Candyland, I got a candy card, but I hadn't updated my board, whatever. Like, the whip that was called was already finished. So then I asked the powers that be, the group, what should I work on? And the first person that popped up, Megan, Frozen Crafter, was the Gryffindor crest. I'm like, oh. She could not have picked, more color changes, blends, slow stitching, the whole thing, whatever. It's fine. It got some work. It got some love. Here she is, Sarabi. If you know, this is the companion piece to Nagini. So there's one for every house. And I have named this one Sarabi, and here's where we are. So, you can see in the picture, everything that I did was from this line over here. So I did 1,000 stitches for my call on Candyland. So, yep, that's where I got on that. Again, like I said, slow stitching, just because there's half stitches in there. You can see the half stitches make the background shading kind of happening, but there are, everything else is full cross, but there are blends and a lot of color changing to get that gradient happening in there. So, but Sarabi got out, she got some love. Nagini needs a co-partner. Of course, I still have the Hufflepuff one and the Ravenclaw one in the wings. Hopefully someday we'll get them all done. Okay, what I worked on next, I don't know if it was next, but whatever. I don't have an overall, I do not have an overall picture of this. Wait, I do. Yes. This is the Universal Monster Stitch Along. This is the Witchy Stitcher Stitch Along. I think this was maybe her first Sal that she did. She did this one, and then she did the Chopping Mall, which I have finished, and then the Cryptids, and then the Supernaturals, and then I think now she's doing the Tarots, but it's more of a Patreon unofficial Sal. Anyways, this was originally charted in full color. She then released it in black and white. This is one of the great times it is good to sleep on a Sal, because it was after the Sal was complete that she did this black and white version, and that is when, I started stitching, is when I found her and all the things, and I come across this in the black and white version. Chef's kiss, because these are all the old school monsters, like, has to be done in black and white. But of course I got to put a spin on it, so I've got pops of red in every room, and here's where I'm at currently. Overall, you can see I've got the Creature from the Black Lagoon, the Phantom of the Opera, Frankenstein's monster, and now complete the Invisible Man. So that is what I worked on. Let me fold this up so I can show you. This is what I worked on. This is what I got finished. I got all of this done, and I really only had like this section left and a little bit of back stitching, and I was like, oh my god, I forgot the red. It was a toss between the candle and the tablecloth, but originally in the original color version, that tablecloth is red, and that candle is black. So, and then of course I asked, friends, like, what do you think? And the tablecloth one. So, I think my original plan was to probably make some of these potions red, or one of the potions red, or something like that. But again, I had already had that stitch before I realized, you gotta make something red. So anyways, here he is. I love all the back stitching details. Everything just kind of came to life. And yeah, so that got 500 stitches in that for Whip Go. So I know that my original plan was to stitch it on the month it's called in. However, it turned into, like, I didn't do February, I didn't do March, I didn't do April, and now here we are in May. And I was like, I think I'm just, like, am I giving up on Whip Go? No, I don't want to, because mostly, ooh, giant bug just hit my window. Not my windshield, window. It, like, thunked. I think it was a dragonfly. Anyways, I don't want to give up on Whip Go, because what is on my Whip Go board are mostly all of my giant pieces. And so to get them out and get them, even if it's only 500 stitches, to get them out and get them 500 stitches is, like, in my mind, better than nothing. So I went ahead in an attempt to find my stitchy bug, and I need something. I need something to shake it up. So I wrote down all the ones that have been called, including May's, and have my son, who's just picking a number for me randomly. Where's the... I have them all... Oh, here they are. I have them all written down. So he's picking a number for me randomly, and then I'm working on them. So that's what's happening. So 500 stitches there for that Whip Go call. And then we have Rosetta. And this is by Ink Circles. I love this pattern. The circles do not repeat. The little diamonds, even the, like, on the border of the triangles on the borders, the diamonds in between, nothing is a repeating pattern. The only thing that repeats is this small little line in between each circle. Like, that is the only thing that repeats in this entire pattern. So love this. I'm stitching this using Almond M&M's. This was a hank that we got in one of her boxes, and this is the colorway. Pretty like a pinky into a purple. And here is my stitching. Stitching this just on an 18 count off-white cream colored Aida. I finished out this triangle, started up on this circle. I know I need to come back here and finish up this triangle. I don't know why that didn't get finished, but when I put my Q-snap down, it wasn't in my Q-snap, so started up on this circle here, but there's the overall stitching. I can't see. There we go. There's overall stitching so far, and I am loving it. She was a beast though. To find a route, like, you know, when I feel like if you're into cross stitching, you're cross stitching and doing all the things, you find your stitching route, like, you know where you're going to be going with your stitching, and just finding a route while trying to stitch this up was very difficult because I kept hitting dead ends and having to backtrack, and it was a journey for that little diamond. Not a triangle, it's a diamond. Kept calling it a triangle last night too. Okay, and then, so that was 500 stitches in there. And then I have not actually started stitching on this yet, but the next one my son chose was the number 1, which is this one. So, this is In This House We Do Horror. I've already got it all wrapped up in the Q-snap. Next week, I'll have the 500 stitches done, so I'll be able to show you the whole piece, not in the Q-snap. So, I'm gonna finish up some words in here, and yeah. So that's where I'm going to be working today, getting 500 stitches in on that. And then that leaves still, the collectors, the Crosses of the Kingdom, that's In This House We Do Horror, and then the Baba Yaga and Hallows Eve Haunting. So, I mean, collectors, Baba Yaga, and Hallows Eve Haunting, those are all Autumn Lanes. So, I mean, and he's just picking random numbers, but if he ends up picking 3 next, that's going to be funny, because that'll be the Crosses of the Kingdom, and then it will be an Autumn Lane parade. Parade of Autumn Lane. So yeah, that's all the stitching that I have gotten done. I'm really pleased with that, because that's 500 and 500 and 1,000, so that's 2,000 stitches since I saw you last. Yeah, I'm pretty sure, yeah, Sarabi, yeah, everything was Sarabi, so, yeah. In the interim, when I wasn't cross-stitching and making shirts, I picked up a new craft. I showed this a while ago. I got this felt craft kit box situation at a Barnes & Noble, and it did come with everything to make all of the characters and these. It has the pattern. It did not have the materials. So it has all the things for these though. So having never felt crafted before, what I did first was I cut out all the pieces. So like all of the pieces everything is cut out and ready to be made. After cutting out everything, I started with this. It's super janky. Some of these are not cut really straight. I don't know, the stitching isn't even and whatever, but it's a bookmark. I started off with Ravenclaw because I didn't want to mess up Southern. But here you go. There it is. If I was to be picking the felt out myself, this would be a bronzy colored and blue, but it's okay. I'm not gonna be picky. And then I just jumped right in and I stitched a little Hermione. Look at her little feet. Oh my gosh. So all of the stitching in her hair is all hand stitched. All that's hand stitched. And then the scarf is just a felt piece here and a felt piece here, but then it's stitching to put the stripes in. The tie is fully stitched in there. I don't know if it's gonna focus. Focus. No, it's not gonna focus. But the tie is fully just stitched in there. You kind of folded the flaps back on this robe and then stitched couching. I think there was the stitch there. Yeah, there she is. Oh, her face is fully stitched on there. Satin stitch for her eyes, and then a French knot, and then the eyebrows and the mouth, and there she is. I feel like I put her hair on there a little bit crookedy, so I keep kind of like pulling on this side of her hair, but whatever, it's fine. Lynn X Stitches Creates had a great idea, and I think I'll do that. I'll probably just stitch a little loop here, and I'll make her a little ornament and put her an ornament on the Christmas tree. So I love it. I have, like I said, everything else in here to make all of the rest of the bookmarks and the little felt peoples and everything, but I have her done, and now just to do all the rest. I mean, I feel like I'm maybe gonna save Voldemort for last, because his little snake Nagini looks difficult, and his eyes look difficult too, like all of that shading in his eyes. Oof, I don't know, we'll see. Ron and Harry and Snape look pretty easy. Dumbledore looks complicated, but so it took me 2 days of like crafting time. Like, I mean, I wasn't solid, crafting, but it took me about 2 days. No, because some of that time was spent cutting out all of those pieces. So I want to say like maybe 5-ish hours to stitch Hermione and get her all pieced together and everything. But again, that was spread out over a couple of days. It's one of those that it was difficult in the moment, and I was like getting super frustrated, and there was a couple of times I just ripped the stitching out because I didn't like the way it looked, and started over. Again, this is my first time doing this, so that's a learning technique. What was I gonna say? It was difficult, and when I got done, I was like, oh, that was stressful. I don't think it was a relaxing and joyful experience. And so I think I'll take a break for a little bit before I do another one. I feel like it was similar to the Book Nook building situation. Like, in it, I was just like, ugh. When I got it done, I'm like, oh, okay, I need a break. So I think a break will be had for a while before I go back to doing another one. But it was fun. I've done the one. I feel like the rest of them will be easier. All the things. Okay, what else was I going to say? I think that was it. Yeah, I showed that already. I'm looking around, like, we're 18 minutes in, y'all. I'm going to do comments and everything else, and then I've got like one thing I'll haul to show you. So let's do comments and would you rathers. Okay. I have screenshots. I know I do. Okay. PD Stitcher, who's Tamara. Thank you very much for giving me your name, Tamara. I also like PD Stitcher. That's funny. I love it. She says, I would rather be stranded on an island. I hate critters, and the woods are full of them. So basically, I would choose to die on the island by myself than die in the woods with a bunch of critters. I mean, I could see that, but I feel like the island would have some critters. It depends on how deserted it is. Sue Gonzalez, would you rather? I would choose the woods because the odds of survival are better than being on an island, plus better chances of a rescue. Yeah. Lynn X Stitches Creates, I would pick the island if there's a house with facilities and all my craft stuff, great getaway. But being that that's probably not the thought behind this, it's not. I'd pick the woods so that I can find my way out. Yeah. No, nowhere did it say that this was like a vacation. This said stranded. I don't feel the thing behind stranded is that you got to take all your stuff with you and, oh, it's a blue jay. You got to take all your stuff with you and like have a vacation. I don't think that was the theory behind it. The Redneck Bifocal Stitcher also has a Flosstube. Go check her out. I would take either location as both are easy options I could deal with. Really? I mean, I don't feel like I'm built to be stranded and scavenging and making myself a shelter. Like, I'm just not built for that. Oh, thank you. Kathy Offman says, would you rather? I would pick the woods, especially since I don't really like the sun, plus all of the other reasons that I stated. Yeah, I didn't even think about the heat and the sun and like all that kind of stuff because MS, I can't deal with heat, so yeah, the woods would offer more shelter, I think. Kathy also was talking about the Smarties and that she does think they have flavors and that she doesn't do the yellow or the orange because they're extra tart. The white, the purple, and the pink are the best. I've never distinguished. I mean, I feel like I need to go out and get a thing of Smarties now. And I literally said I was never going to eat another thing of Smarties again. If Linda's watching this, she knows why. But I may have to go out and like try one at a time because I usually pop like 3 or 4 in my mouth and just, it's funny because Skittles, I eat by color. Like I don't mix that up. M&Ms, I mix those up because I don't feel like those have like, I guess if I feel like there's a flavor palette involved, I separate them, but I guess I've never associated a flavor. It just tastes like sugar for Smarties. Okay. Wendy Passalant says, as for the this or that, I find the idea of being lost in the woods a little too dark and scary, so I would pick the island. Yeah, it can be. I mean, as far as like critters go, like, I mean, I don't like the critters. I was like, I'm going back to like the dark and the scary and the critters and everything, but the woods also has like stuff that will eat you, stuff that will hunt you, like bears and wolves and stuff like that. Okay, interruptions. Pumpkin Creek Primitives, woods, hands down, mainly because of water sources or lack thereof on an island. Also, like you said, you should be able to eventually walk out of the woods. You ain't walking off an island. Nope, you ain't walking off an island. Amanda Stitches, get lost in the middle of the woods because the trees will cover me from the evil sun. Witch Stitch Pam says, give me the woods. I don't want to be on an island. Too hot, wet, out in the open. Of course, in the woods, you have lions, tigers, bears, and lions. But you also have somewhere to run besides the water. So yeah, there's 2 sides. And Jeremy. First of all, Jeremy, I didn't know you were in Kansas City. I'm in Kansas City. Thank you for ordering a shirt. I got your order and it's in the mail. But when I put it in the mail, I was like, hey, you're local. So I got called out. I remember the Scabbers, but the 7 Horcrux is not the Deathly Hollows. Okay, so I think that was in reference to here when I was saying like the Deathly Hollows. I realized they're not the Deathly Hollows. I probably was looking at this and also thinking Deathly Hollows, but also in my brain, in my defense, I was thinking the last book, which deals with all the Horcruxes, which is the Deathly Hollows book. In my defense. That's what I'm going with. but also my brain is mush. And I'm like, this is 2 weeks in a row that I'm like, I swear to God, I'm not a fake fan. I am not a fake fan. I know things. I just get confused when it comes out of my mouth. Oh, but I love that you're here to call me on it. And would you rather? He says, I'd have to go with the woods as well. Your point about more resources is pretty much my thinking as well. You could haunt all the game on an island to extinction, or if it's really deserted, it could have no plant animal life at all. Plus, I have more experience being in the woods than I do on an island. Yes, all of that, yes. Too funny. So we are back to a Harry Potter would you rather, and we need to find another good one. Yeah, let's see. This book is kind of hard if you're okay, so this is the book I'm using. It is very much Gryffindor versus Slytherin. All of these questions are blatantly Gryffindor versus Slytherin. So okay. That one's kind of okay, this is the one I'm going with. Would you rather rush out to save your friends or stop, try and figure out the best way to rescue them first? So, I mean, would you just rush into it or would you stop, take your time and think things through? I feel like that's a little bit, I mean, that is definitely Gryffindor versus Slytherin, but stopping and thinking, being smart, being like, it's that cunning side, I guess. Stopping and thinking and thinking of the best way to do something versus just rushing into it, which is the more brave, courage, go side of the Gryffindor. And I mean, it depends because like, I mean, if it's an emergency situation, I mean, I kind of just tend to just act. Like I don't really slow down and think. Like adrenaline takes over and I just go. So yeah, I mean, like if my friend is in a burning car, am I going to stop and think like, where's the nearest extinguisher? Where can I get some water? Should I call 911 first? Like, I feel like I'm going to just, I don't know. I feel like I'm going to just run to the car and try to break the car open. As long as I could like, I mean, I don't think I would run into flames. I think I would be too afraid for that, honestly. I don't think I have that braveness level. But like if I could get to that car and get my friend out, like I'm running and doing it as fast as I can. So yeah, I mean, it depends on is this an emergency situation or not? But I think overall, I think I'm going Gryffindor with this one. I'm just going to run and save my friend. Yeah, I think that's where my brain is going. So, jump to the rescue or stop and think of the best way first. That's your would you rather. And, okay, I totally forgot, but reading comments reminded me. This was supposed to be my whole little segue into a promotion, if you would. If you, like me, love horror, if horror is your jam, if Halloween is your jam, but not just Halloween, horror Halloween. Like, we're talking slasher films, we're talking Freddy, Jason, Michael Myers, Chucky, like Texas Chainsaw, like horror, Psycho, all of those movies, okay? Slasher films. If that is your jam, stop what you're doing. Go to pumpkincreekprimitives.com right now. Right at the top, you will see, like the very first thing you're going to see is the box for the Nightmare on Pumpkin Creek Lane. It's a Halloween box. It's going for $150, and it's going to have cross stitch patterns. It's going to have sneak peeks have been already posted on her Instagram. If you would like to go see the sneak peeks, please go see them. but it's going to have cross stitch patterns, horror themed. Again, all of this is very much horror themed. There's no cutesy, no floofy Halloween involved here. This is the 80s, 90s horror movies. Anyways, there's going to be cross stitch patterns. There's going to be fabric. There's going to be floss. There's going to be, I know Linux Stitches is going to be in here. There's just all the cross stitch goodiness for anybody who's got a little horror heart like me and Bobby. Also, if you would like to, there's a little box where you can click to add on a exclusive shirt. I did design a shirt for this box, but it is an add-on. So the box itself is $150. If you would like to add on a shirt, depending on size, it's $18 to $21, which is my normal shirt price. Because I can't really do wholesale. I don't really make money off of wholesale because all of my shirts are custom homemade. They're made in my home, but they're made to order. So, and I'm one person. I can't really do a bulk discount deal type of a thing. But I wanted to get in on this. I wanted to work with Bobby. This theme speaks to me so much. I saw him peeking over my shoulder. I was like, hey, perfect. This theme speaks to me so much. I have a little horror heart. I love it. So I wanted to get in on this box. And in order for us to figure out a way to make that work, we decided to do my shirt as an add-on. So it's not included in the $150. It is an additional upcharge to add that on. But I will be making them, sending them to Bobby, and they will be coming in your box if you choose to add that on to your box. There's a very limited amount, and there is still some left. They went on sale on Wednesday. I do know that there are still some left. So please, please, please head over there and get some. I'm going to put a picture right here of what the shirt looks like. Again, pumpkincreeprimitives.com, and go grab you a box because there is a limited amount. This is her first time doing a box. So I get where everybody is probably like, oh, she's never done a box before, but trust me, you want this box. If horror is your jam, you want this box. I'm super excited. I will be getting the box. Yes, I have the box. It will be coming. And I'm super excited to unbox that for y'all in October. I do think that she's either mailing them out September. I can't remember the exact mail out date. But you will have it, definitely. You will have in October. So, super excited for all that. And yeah. Also, while we're talking promotions, Stacy from Thread the Needle Stitchery is moving, and everything is I think she upped her sale price. You need to go to Thread the Needle Stitchery Instagram. She's posted there, but also just go to her website. She's got a moving sale going on right now. I think it's at 40%. Trying to get some stuff clearanced, or not clearanced, but get some stuff out so that it doesn't have to make the move with her. And then I think she's closing the store for a couple of weeks while the move happens. Once she's up and settled in Tennessee, store will be back open again and shipping will resume. So go check out all of that. What week are we on? It's the 17th, so it'll still be a couple more. Yeah, we got a couple more weeks before I do June's Floss of the Month. So yes. Okay. A little bit of haul. The only thing of haul that I got, honestly. I'm trying to think if I got anything. I have Legos being delivered today. I treated myself to some Legos. I went to go look for them at Target and I couldn't find them, so then I just went online and I bought them. They said Target said there were only 5 left, so I was like, okay. And I bought them. It's the yes, I know the words. Which one did I buy? I believe it's the Shrieking Shack. I'm pretty sure that's when I settled on. But that'll be coming today. It might be a build this weekend. We'll see. Okay, haul. from the Witchy Stitcher. I am a Patreon member of hers, and I am in the first tier. I think that's how they go. No, I'm in the higher one. If 1 is higher or 4 is higher. Because I know there's 4 levels, but like, I think it's 4. I think 4 is the highest one because you start off with 1, 2, 3, 4. That makes sense. I'm a tier 4. I'm the highest one. And for that tier, you get merch quarterly, and then you also get, she puts out free patterns. She does Discord chats and like monthly, and free patterns monthly, and all the things. So if you're not Patreon of the Witchy Stitcher and you love horror and Witchy Stitcher everything, you should go check it out. But here is the merch I got. Thou shalt, oh my gosh, wouldst thou like to cross stitch? I couldn't read it backwards. Black Sam is his name. He's like reflecting a super lot. I don't like it. It's probably because this is black and it's blowing it out, but oh my goodness. Anyways, there you go. He's darker than what he's coming across. There we go. Nice little tote bag, handles, tote bag. It's got a flat bottom on it. Love it. Put some shopping haul in there. I think that's all the things I was going to talk about. So I'm going to go into health journey, health updates, whatever we want to call this section. So this last week, I've had a multitude of weirdness. I had some pretty high fatigue days. Physical therapist is like on me to set pace myself. Like, okay, you wake up with 20 spoons. Okay, we're only going to use 10. I'm going to save 10 for tomorrow. Unfortunately, I just don't think that that's how I'm just using an example. I just don't think that if I woke up with 20 spoons and I only used 10, that it's a guarantee that I wake up with those 10 again tomorrow. Like, it's not guaranteed. I think more of what her train of thought is to not go ham and then have to spend 2 days recovering, and then go ham again and then spend 2 days recovering. It's more of just like, do a little bit, and then you could do a little bit again tomorrow, and then you could do a little bit. So you don't have to have, maybe you're spending half of a day in recovery and half of a day doing things. And it doesn't even have to be half and half. Like, do some things, sit down, do some things, sit down, do some things, sit down. So it's all about pacing, right? It's all about increasing your tolerance to life. Literally, it's life. So pacing a lot is like what a lot of athletes do, especially like marathon runners like Ymir. And it's building up their tolerance to the distances that they can go, right? And it's like, and you'll run so far, and then you walk so far, and then you run so far, and you walk so far, but then like you increase the amount of run time that you do, like weekly or monthly or like whatever. So you're like slowly increasing your pacing and how much you can and can't do. So the same theory is what my physical therapist is trying to get me to change my mind into doing. It applied to just life, just living. I'm not trying to run a marathon. I'm just trying to be able to do the dishes and cook dinner and make some t-shirts and still have enough energy to like cross stitch at the end of the night, because there's a lot of times where, majority of the time dinner does not get cooked because I run out of energy by the time it's time to cook dinner. I wake up, I have energy, I do the things, and then by the time it's like 5 or 6 o'clock in the evening, time to cook dinner, I'm just like, I can't move. And sometimes it's so bad that I can't even sit here and cross stitch. I can't even sit here and do this because my brain is just a puddle and it won't do anything. So more about do a little bit and then over time slowly increase what you're doing so that your body can just get used to doing the things again. A lot of the symptoms that I'm having are what she is also seeing. My physical therapist made this point of view with me, is that she has seen a couple of patients for long COVID who are dealing with like severe fatigue and just overall like it's a lot of just fatigue and just not being able to do the things. Like she, for example, this is the example she gave me. She had somebody who is dealing with long COVID and was perfectly fit before long COVID, a runner, an athlete, all the things, and then could run miles and be fine. And then after getting COVID and now trying to recover from long COVID, can barely run a mile and it has to like lay down on the ground, huffing and puffing, dripping sweat, can't, like heart racing, all the things after 1 mile. So like what they're trying to do with her is the same thing she's trying to get to do with me, is like slowly increase your tolerance. Like don't just go out there and force yourself into 10 miles, do little bits. All of that to say, long story long, I have a new gadget. So I have gotten this. I'm not paid to support this. This in no way is a promotion. I have seen other chronically ill, long COVID, and the fatigue, chronic fatigue syndrome, other MS patients, lupus, like other chronically ill, autoimmune people have been using this. Some of them are, influencers and have done promotional things on this, and that is how I found out about it. So this app is called Visible, and when you go, if you just research Visible, this is my overall like page of it. Like right now my heart rate is at 124, which is an overexertion because I shouldn't be above 107. That is what the app tells me. Based on my age and everything else, I shouldn't be in overexertion like I am. Also, this app specifically is designed to my trackers. So I can track all of my symptoms. I can choose which symptoms I would like to track, and I can track all of my symptoms on a day-to-day basis, hour to hour, whenever I need. If I'm having a headache, I can go in here, click, I'm having a headache. I can go in here and do all the things. It's also tracking, it can track physical exertion, cognitive exertion, emotional exertion, and social exertion. It can track other things. It can track, for women, it can track your menstrual cycles. It can track crashing or just that, like if you do too much activity and then you crash, it can track that kind of a thing. It can track all of these things. So what this is, it is basically a pacing program app that has been designed for people with chronic illness. It is not a pacer for people who are out there trying to get up to running a marathon. This is specifically built for people with a chronic illness who are trying to just do the dishes and be able to cook dinner. So you have morning check-ins, you have evening check-ins, and a lot of what this app is based around is this, it's a polar verity sense is what it's called. It's a heart rate monitor. That's the word I was looking for. And it measures your heart rate, it measures your heart variability, and those kinds of things. the idea is to try and stay at resting or exertion, and then do like a couple of minutes of overexertion, but then go back down. If you spent like 2 or 3 minutes in overexertion, you need to slow down, take a moment, relax, and try to get yourself back down into exertion and or resting. And then you can go back up into a couple of minutes of overexertion and then go back down. Again, trying to get up to more, being able to do more time of overexertion. This is day 1. I'm not doing good because I'm already at 56 pace points. The lower the pace points, the better. I'm not doing good. Taking a shower, my heart rate went up to 180. It's not supposed to do that. So yeah. I think tracking this and actually seeing it and seeing where I spike and where I like physically seeing, okay, I'm at a resting level. Let me stay here for a little bit. And then I can go do some exertion. Okay, wait, I need to go rest again. Like physically seeing that might help. But also I have the little gremlins inside my brain that are yelling at me and telling me, just get up and do the things. You're being lazy. But also seeing that and being able to just click on, this is my heart rate. This is when I took a shower. This is me doing Flosstube. I think this little blurb right here was me putting my makeup on. Like, just living life is hard. Okay. So, I will keep you all updated on this visible journey. And if you also are having, if you have a chronic illness, if you're suffering with chronic fatigue, any of the things, hopefully I can, if this is working for me, I can come back, I can tell you all, and maybe it's something you can invest in. I will say that it was like $70 for the sensor, and then I am paying, I think, $10 a month for the app. I think I'm paying $10 a month for the app. So I think I, in the initial, shelled out like $80. And we shall see how it goes. Hopefully I can come back and report to y'all that this is amazing and this is really helping me to pace myself and not overexert myself. And maybe it can work for you. Hopefully that's how this works. So, with that, I think that I have discussed everything. I don't think there's anything else that I was going to talk about. Yeah, I don't think I have anything else. So, we're going to get out of here in under an hour. What? That's crazy. Crazy pants. But yeah, I'm going to go see if my Legos are here. So with that, I hope you all have a very magical Stitchy week. And for now, mischief managed.